Chapter 4 Madornis. White pushed open the doors of the hall and called to Madornis! White walked to the desk where Madornis sat, a corded phone to his ear. Madornis placed the phone down and sat back on his chair. Detective White, I presume? He held the fingers of his left hand. White stopped his march, just shy of the desk. Yes, hello. First off, what do you know of Pine Ridge? Madornis raised his right hand to the detective. Ridge? I went there when I was a child, but... White grew impatient. I found a body. A man. Around mid-30s. I don't know how to tell you this. He looked like he'd been eaten alive. Madornis rolled his right hand as he explained. Bears do roam around. White stomped onto the ground. Damn it, Madornis. Listen to your people. I've multiple eyewitness accounts. In what mind are you to say the bears did this? White pulled the Polaroid photo from his pocket and swiped it toward Madornis. Madornis raised up the photo and gagged at the sight of a mutilated body. White continued. Look at the top left. Madornis sat forward, looking to the picture with more attention.
Oh, my.
White crossed his arms. This confirms the accounts. RavenRock is surrounded by these creatures. Madornis laid the photo down and placed his elbows onto the table. What do you want me to do? A young boy stepped out from a room in the back and swiped the picture from next to Madornis as the adults spoke. White glanced at the boy and back to Madornis. Evacuate the town? The young boy looked at the picture. He screwed his face up in disgust. Then, his eyes opened as Madornis replied. We can't just do that. There will have to be meetings and committee hearings and... The boy tried to interrupt Madornis, tugging on his sleeve. Dad? White glanced at the boy again. This is serious, Madornis. They are equivalent to a pride of lions on the loose. The boy looked to White as he pointed to the picture. A dinosaur. Madornis and White turned to the boy. Madornis questioned his son's perspective. What did you say? The young boy tapped the picture. A dinosaur. Look, it's a dromaeosaur. Madornis and White looked at each other. Madornis swiped the photo from the child. Well done. Go and play. The boy scurried off into the back room as White smiled. Dromaeosaur. Dromaeosaur? Madornis looked at the photo again. I see what he means now. Black feathers, the feet, definitely dinosaur-like. Detective White tapped his chin with his index finger, whispering to himself in contemplation.
RavenRock.
Madornis looked up from the picture. What did you say? White pointed a questioning finger into the air in contemplation. What is the history of the town? Madornis sat back. Well, the town is named after the old native legend. White squinted his eyes. Legend? Madornis rolled his hand as he explained. Yes. The natives had a story that one day a large raven stalked their clan. A raven that could only walk, mimicking speech to lure unsuspecting people. The natives would know it was coming when it would stand on top of the rock and call into the night. That's why the town is called RavenRock. The detective pulled up the picture and looked at the black dinosaur. Whatever it is, it's back. You need to tell the town it's real. Madornis scoffed. And stars a panic? May I remind you, detective, that you do not make the shots here. However, I suppose I will hold a meeting tonight. I have lived here for 40 years and never seen anything happen so far, so this could just be a hoax. A bunch of... The detective raised his voice. You hired me to investigate these murders. These aren't murders, these are territorial creatures killing your people. Powerful creatures. Madornis rolled his eyes. We can oversee it. Thank you. White stared to Madornis. There has to be a reason why they are here. What is going on in the forest? I saw vehicle tracks. Madornis wiped his face as he explained. We were mining the eastern caves for copper. Well, until... White's facial expression changed from frown to shock. You bought them here, didn't you? Madornis smiled. Bought them? No! Ha! They followed us here! White placed his hands behind his back. Why are you keeping this secret? Madornis shrugged his shoulders. Our police force quit, and our only option was to hire you, to get the case filed, to call in the National Guard. The detective placed his fingers to his eyes. The National Guard won't deploy to clean your mess. These deaths are on your hands, tampering with wherever these things come from. White pulled out the blood-stained note from his pocket and placed it onto the desk as he continued. By their stories, these are intelligent creatures. Send more guys up there. You will get them killed. White sighed in disappointment. I suppose you already know that. Your colleague knew that too, from what I could tell. Bill's convict brother, from what was left of his face, knew he had to make a mistake too. From what I could tell, Bill's convict brother, from what was left of his face, knew he had made a mistake too, right before he was torn to pieces. White had nothing more to discuss. He turned away from the desk and left the hall, leaving Madornis to look at the note and contemplate the next move.